Because I knew as soon as I got out, I'd get popped. You know, I mean, that's what...
That's the game.
Yeah, that's what was going to happen. You know, that's why I just said, you know, I'll just stay here.
Did you ever talk to your uncle after that?
No.
That must have been scary.
Yeah.
Was that the scariest thing ever? I mean,
No. Scariest thing ever was Hill 875, period. After that, there was no fear. You know, I mean, it was scary. Especially when I found out that there was a hit on me inside. You know, I mean, that's what caused me to do what I did. I mean, I was ready to go away and do my time. You know. And then they were going to kill me inside. And I said, no, I'm not going to leave a wife and 3 kids just because of their paranoia that I might talk. You know, I haven't talked yet, so why do they think I'm gonna? But you see, I had a wealth of knowledge that if I did, which I did, would have created what it created. Yeah, I mean, 26 mob guys went away. Big time mob guys over my testimony. And they created it, not me. You know, I got arrested, I was doing my fucking time. You know, they decided to take me out for no reason. Because of what I might have said, which I had no intention of saying. Until I found that out. And then I said, fuck you, man. Now, you worried about what I'm going to say? Now I'm going to say it. You know.
Survival skills, and then gotta do it.
No, it's serious. And you know, when you're locked up in MCC, and you know you got people in there going to try and kill you. And I can understand if they're going to try and kill you because you did something. But when they're going to try and kill you for what they think you might do, then all the fucking rules are off. You know? All the rules are off. And that's really important. Because that's what caused me to do what I did. You know? And that's a very important fact. And they've done it over and over. You know?
You knew right away, right? You knew once you
I
saw
knew
that
when
lawyer-
they sent that lawyer in. All right? And oddly enough, this lawyer was an ex-Special Forces guy from Vietnam. You know? And he was my best friend. And, you know, we're brothers. And, you know, your uncle sent me and he wants you out of here and blah, blah, blah. And I just said, that was my first indication. You know? Because I hadn't spoken to my uncle for 5 years. I was in L.A., you know. And to save face, when I split for L.A., he said that I split with $250,000 of his money. In actuality, I split with me, my wife, 2 kids, and one in the cooker with $1,500. You know, that's what I left with. I never stole any of his money. And I never would have thought of stealing any of my uncle's money. You know, but
How did he find out that you got busted?
the grapevine, man. I mean, when I got busted, it was big time. It was big time. You see, what the prosecutors, you know, the Organized Crime Task Force, because I disappeared in 1979, they thought the DeMeo crew took me out. Nobody had heard from me since then. You know, I wasn't on anybody's radar. And when I came out, and the detective you're going to interview, you know, you could ask Frank when Jeff Winnick made that call to set me up. They just looked at each other and went, guess who's back? You know, because they knew that I knew more than anybody about the Gambino family. You know, I mean, they had been looking for me, but then they just decided that I was dead. So they stopped. And Frank told me, he said, we were all in the organized crime, you know, in Walter Mack's office. And when Winnick made the call, they just looked at each other and they said, guess who's back? But you know what? Oddly enough, Billy, it really seems like none of it ever happened. You know, today, it's almost like surrealistic. It's like I never was in that life. You know, and all the stories we talk about, it's like when I talk about them, the hardest part for me is to really realize in my head that, wow, this shit really happened, you know. Because now I worry about which piece of fucking canvas I'm going to place, you know. I mean, then I used to worry about how I was going to whack this guy with an attaché case.